Ah, yes. It's time to go into battle and die valiantly, as I'm sure will happen. Let me fix my camera here while we got everybody. Also, welcome. Glad to have you here with us tonight. Going to be interesting to see if we can take on this damn dragon that Havoc is taunting us with. So we will see how that pans out. Ren, thank you for 3 months in a row. Very much appreciate it. Alright, so potentially going to die here. We're prepared for it. I hope everybody else is prepared for it. If we do, it may be a short session. I don't know. Going straight into a boss fight. Otherwise, tomorrow, Amongst the Giants, they are also heading into a boss fight. So that should be fun and exciting. Fate's Game Night Thursday. Friday is D&D Replay and Stealing Dragons late in the night there. Entropy on Sunday. Then I'm going to be playing a lot of Fallout, starting on Monday with Fallout 4, leading into Fallout 76 on PC on Tuesday, and then through Wednesday as well, more than likely. It's going to be a pretty busy kind of week of Fallout. I want to get into it and play as much as I can, so we will definitely be doing that. I think that's pretty much everything, though. Check on the party here. Yeah, I think they're good. All right, ready to go?
Say what?
Yeah.
Ready to go?
Yes.
Everybody's, everybody's real excited about this session, so...
My soul is ready. I'm not ready, to die.
Well, let's see what happens. All right, so give you a quick recap of last session. So after you slayed some kobolds in this giant graveyard that you found in these tunnels, you started to explore the tunnels further. You climbed up another slope in the hallway and saw a couple of paths leading off ahead of you. To your left, you heard fitful coughing coming from some kind of humanoid that you saw in this chamber. You creeped quietly, though you didn't really need to, with the loud coughing of this man that you saw slumped up against some furs on the icy floor. Kind of just overpowering all the noise in the chamber. You initially ignored this man and continued moving forward. You passed another path to your right and decided to ignore that one as well and continue down another steep hill. As some of the group started to investigate the bottom of this hill, a few of the group heard the sound of what sounded like croaking coming from the path you passed. As you began to investigate it, you found yourself in front of a group of toads of this blue and icy coloration that looked at you inquisitively, but did not attack. They seemed intelligent. One of them approached you and began to speak in fluent Draconic. The ice toad named Marfulb claimed to be a record keeper and note taker. She spoke of the history of this place, Oyaviggaton, and the history of Arauthator. You were a bit taken aback by these creatures, as these creatures seemed far more intelligent as they seemed initially, but decided to ignore them as they didn't seem to have much to offer in your quest to slay Arauthator. As you slid back down the passageway, Ignalia decided to go back and investigate the coughing man. Ignalia found herself with another ice hunter before her, though this man looked very sickly. His coughing was very rough and his voice very coarse. Ignalia couldn't fully understand him, but decided to take pity on him and heal a disease she felt spreading through his lungs that would have probably killed him eventually if she had not intervened. With that, she set back to meet with the rest of the group. As the rest of you waited for Ignalia, who finally came sliding somewhat loudly down the icy ramp, the man came moving slowly around the corner and warned of trolls. Initially confused, you looked around only to see 2 trolls had been moving quietly towards you from the passage right next to you. Combat ensued with your warning as you fought these creatures that tried their best to regenerate the damage taken by you, but it was futile for them and they were quickly slayed. After vanquishing the beasts and tentatively thanking the man, you continued on through the ice caves. As you continued on, you found yourself presented by another chamber, one that was extremely large compared to the others. Initially, you let it be, continuing down the ice tunnel only to find a room with a pit in it leading down. Deciding that more than likely more dangers lied down there, you decided that a rest would probably be in order. So you went back to the large chamber you had just passed. As you investigate this chamber, you found that another path within this chamber led off to the northwest. As you went to search this chamber, this pathway, you found yourself confronted by yet another ice troll. It was quickly defeated, and you saw an unusual sight behind where it had ambushed you from. A seeming tent made of tapestries had been constructed, and warm light glowed from within it. As you investigated it, a female's voice hailed for you to come in or get lost, essentially. As you entered into the tent, you found yourself in front of a red tiefling woman, Maccath, alive and in the flesh. She told you that she had been held prisoner here by Arauthator for years. She initially seemed unwilling to help with your quest, knowing that Arauthator would, definitely kill you, not worth her trouble. But you were eventually able to convince her that Arauthator could be slain, or at least frightened away for the time being, so that you could all escape together. You all prepared as she told you of a way into the dragon's lair that she had access to. And after preparing, you went down another tunnel to a level below the tunnels you had been adventuring through up to this point. As you landed roughly on the cold ice ground, you found yourself in a huge, dimly lit chamber. You carefully moved forward, only to be presented with a low, rumbling voice that resonated and reverberated through the chamber all around you. It seemed Arauthator knew you were coming, and he was hungry for his food. After a brief jest for it to show itself, you found yourself presented with a huge white dragon, Arauthator himself, the old white death.
Oh, man. Let's go, dragon. We're waiting
So
for
once
this.
again, as you're moving up, you see about a 10-foot drop in front of you from the shelf that you're standing on that you had initially landed on. Some hollowed-out pits resting off to your north and southeast and such. Below you, you see the icy floor, though this floor is a little bit more blue in its coloration, as you see that it's not very high. You actually may be slightly under the water level outside of this iceberg. And this is even more reinforced by the fact that you see the higher freezing point salt water has risen up into pools that lay on either side of Arauthator, who is standing poised ready to attack in front of you. You see several other... you have these watery pits around this chamber, obviously offering a bit of a rugged terrain for you to fight in, since that seems to be your goal. But at this point, you find yourselves presented with who you came seeking, who you promised to slay for the bone carver, who made it a distraction for you to come down here. And it is at that point that I will need you to roll for initiative.
To clap them cheeks. Right, man.
Why are you bringing up something from like 15 episodes ago?
What?
I don't know what just happened.
Me
I
either.
don't either.
Holy hell, praise my initiative.
Like, I can see my numbers and everything, and it was selected
Right.
because I wasn't selected.
Oh.
Yeah! Woo!
Hey,
Holy hell.
can I just take that one instead of my original 14?
That's not how this works, actually.
Scott's usually pretty good about disappointing people.
It's my specialty.
Wham. My special gift. The evil one?
Yeah.
No, we all agreed to give it
Give it
away
to the
and
church.
keep it somewhere safe. Why are
Yeah.
you whining?
I don't remember where we put it though.
I gave it to my order.
To the church, yeah.
Oh, that's
So
right.
they could keep it safe.
Oh,
We should have sent word to your church before.
Oh
we
my
left.
goodness. Hey, that would have been. It's like, oh, by the way, I forgot this. Like shimmering black blade of death. Yeah, this guy. This is gonna be fun.
Because using an evil Ascension Greatsword couldn't go wrong at all.
Enemy of my enemy, baby.
That's how that works.
is that how that works?
Totally. You're too stupid to be manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
You do this, don't
Alright.
spill. What? Why would I do that? No, beer.
No, this doesn't make any
Alrighty.
sense.
Okay, all right. So as you all prepare, clearly seeing this dragon has come to fight, kind of mocking you as it roars in your face. Once again, the chamber echoing and almost shuddering around you from the force of its voice. Tara, you're the first to react.
I had a 14.
Oh, JK.
Oh. Never mind.
We'll fix
You're
that.
welcome.
Not lowest.
Let's say Maccath is lowest. All right. So as this voice, as Arauthator's voice echoes around the chamber, you all feel the ground beneath you shaking, and as you hear a sound from above you, look up and you hear crack, 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 and you see several large, jagged ice shards falling from the ceiling. We're gonna start left to right.
Here we go. Here's the Lair attack.
What?
That's at Tara 14.
Real quick, just so we're on the same page here. Out of initiative, he just made.
It's a Lair attack.
Or a legendary
it-
action.
It's
Is that against my AC? Because if so, no.
Yes. Okay. All right, Mr. Pebbles, 15.
I think that hits. Hold on.
Lair attack.
No.
Lair attack's on 20.
18 on Max.
That will not hit. Just kidding. Yeah, that hits.
That hits. Okay.
does.
You take 8 points of piercing damage as one of these shards hits you. Moving right along. Stone Skull.
Mm-mm.
Bear.
Yep.
Ooh.
Couldn't have been reversed, huh?
No. 10 to the
Be
bear.
reversed. Okay.
Ignalia. 17's going to miss.
No.
Rogar. Ooh, 27. That hits.
At 20.
Bonus action. Oh wait, it has to be. Sorry, never mind. Damn it.
It's your turn.
So that's going to do 9. I'm not going
Yeah.
to give it crit damage. So 9 to you, Steve. And finally, Maccath, whose AC I have no idea what it is.
It's got to be higher than 11.
It is higher than 11. She is also already casted Mage Armor on herself. Didn't prepare her character sheet. 1 second. What's that bring it up to? 15. Okay, cool. All right, fix that.
We're gonna die.
Okay, so these icy
Um,
shards.
Sorry, Havoc.
Mm.
Something was wrong with. I thought my AC looked low. I just went and reworked it and it doesn't hit. My AC is 19, but on my character sheet for whatever reason, not only is it 16.
It was broken a few weeks ago, so.
Was it? Okay,
Yeah.
because I was like, no, it hit 16. I was like, man, I thought I did something to fix that.
Yeah.
I did. I built my whole class around fixing that. Like, yeah, I'm good.
right.
That does not hit me.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so these icy shards fall from the ceiling, falling all around you, and you see they're even falling in between you and the dragon. It seems like his voice just radiated out from him and shook the cavern so much that these icy stalagmites fell from the ceiling down amongst you. A couple of you were hit. Steve and the bear unable to get out of the way in time. But with that, you feel yourself able to shakily move forward as the tremors going to the ground subside. Rogar, you're first to react.
Going to hold action for after Max. No,
Okay.
after Tara.
After Tara, so you're gonna.
Can you
Drop
still
to the
move,
bottom?
or do you have to?
If he holds an action, you can't move. If you delay your turn, you can still do your full turn later on.
I'll delay my turn until after Tara then.
Okay. All right. Then you will be down here now, going forward.
Yep.
All right. So Steve, initially taking a step forward, kind of looks around, waits for his comrades to move forward. Max, you're up next.
I am going to take flight. I'm going to go directly above the group, 20 feet. Is there a little thing we can put on there to show that I'm flying?
Yeah, we can do.
Wings or something.
Don't want to use that one because we'll need it. There we go. Okay, there you go.
Awesome. And I am going to cast Bless. And I'm going to select Stone Skull, Rogar, and Ignalia.
Okay.
Everybody, you three get a D4 on all attack rolls and saving throws.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
And then I'm going to give a point of inspiration to Rogar.
Alrighty. Okay.
Yeah, so imagine just like in a, an exhalation of energy, instead of it being fire. You know what I mean? As just flying up into the air and just lighting up my comrades.
All
and
right.
a roar in return. Mm-hmm.
So as Steve answers the roar with his own, enveloping his allies with protective energy as well as inspiration, he prepares to charge into battle as he flies into the air. That being said, with a mighty roar, Arauthator goes up next. He moves forward, and you all feel this sense of dread filling your body as the roar pulsates through your entire being. I need everyone to give me wisdom saving throws.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's not good.
Just barely. Can I
get a D4?
I do, but I saved.
I was talking to Rogar.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Oof.
I have to wait until my turn to dismount, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
But your bear will need to roll as well.
Okay. I mean... Okay.
Alright, so Maccath, did you roll? No, you did not. Wisdom save. Oof. Okay. Alrighty, so as this roar and this presence begins to engulf your being, Maximilian. Rogar has blessed, so he's good. And Tara and Maccath are shuddered and frightened by this frightful presence. You will now be under the frightened condition, which will make it where you can't move any closer to Arauthator. And if you try to attack him, any attack rolls will be at disadvantage. I believe.
Yes. That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay, so I don't have to run away.
No.
Do not
Okay,
have to
that's so much better than the last time.
That's feared.
Yeah. So you are frightened, not feared, but frightened of him. As he does so, what else is he gonna do? I have so many options. He is gonna look towards one of you in the front.
Mr. Pebbles, right?
He looks at Mr. Pebbles.
Yeah! I mean, I'm saying, fuck Mr. Pebbles.
You see him open his mouth very wide, and as he does so, the air around it begins to coalesce, and you see a shard of ice beginning to build and build and build until it's a large one, and then it flies towards Mr. Pebbles. I need a dex save from him.
If it meets, it
Nice.
beats. Go,
Nice.
Mr. Pebbles.
Okay, and 1 second. Okay. Does a 17 hit him?
Yes, that actually meets his AC.
Okay. So I need also Tara and Matt. Or wait, no, Max is up in the air. Tara, also make a dex save.
This wasn't how we negotiated this.
So as this shard of ice flies towards Mr. Pebbles, it impacts against him, and as he does so, he kind of rocks back a step from the impact, taking 3 piercing damage. But then the shard explodes outward. Mr. Pebbles is able to bring up his arm, blunting himself against the damage, not taking any. But unfortunately, as the ice explodes, it buffets straight into you, Tara, and you take 8 cold damage.
All right, so 4 cold damage.
And that will be his turn for now.
Just
he's
saying, I
actually
was
gonna
expecting
move.
it to go way worse.
With that, he starts moving forward, just walking calmly across the ground, not even moving very fast. And with that, that is his turn. Ignalia.
I will grip my sword, hold it up in the air very ceremoniously, and completely buff myself.
Okay. Yeah, you're doing mantle.
And I will walk forward to meet him. Alright, it's my turn.
That's your turn. All right. As you approach him, he looks down at you, kind of tilting his head to the side, and he rears back, and his 2 enormous wings beat once directly at you. I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Oh, you know how much I love those.
Uh-huh. They're real good. Yeah.
Does a
Plus
D4
D4.
matter?
Yes.
No.
No?
Okay,
Oh,
I didn't think so.
never mind. Oh, good point. Doesn't matter.
So as you're buffeted by this wing attack, you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage, and you find yourself skidding down on the floor and falling prone.
So that was his reaction, so he doesn't have a reaction now.
All right.
My turn.
And with that, that is your turn. Stone Skull, you're now up.
All right. So Bear's going to run to here, at which point Stone Skull is going to jump down, which doesn't take movement from his background, I think. Let me check. Just double checking. Dismounting costs only the 5 feet of movement. So
Okay.
I drop down to there, so that's 30. I would like the bear to continue away now at this point. So if you want to take control of it and start moving it away, top of the turn order or whatever, that's fine.
Okay. I'll add him in at your initiative. And
Okay.
how much? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. What's his movement speed? 40?
40.
Okay. The bear begins running away, and you see Arauthator's not even looking at it.
Yep. And that's kind of my point. I'm just trying to get the bear out and away. I was using it to kind of charge in. And on my bonus, I'm going to go ahead and rage and take a couple swipes at this thing. Maybe.
I like thematically, like they're charging it at the same time, and the dragon's like wing buffet, scares the bear away. Like, nope, I'm out.
Nope,
I can't
I'm
handle
out.
it. Like, that's it. No, you're on your own, buddy. I tried.
Yep. That was it. That's all I got.
Bear just looks up at the dragon and nope, I'm out.
17.
I'm on the Nope, I'm on the note train to fuck
16
that
to
bill.
hit. I'll bless the second one.
No, it's all of them.
Oh, it's
bless
all.
Bless is just
Yeah, blessed is all.
a standard D4.
I need to just check that box. There. Okay.
Yeah, you're blessed.
So 19 and 20.
20, 19, 20, both hits.
Nice. So 13 plus 2, so 15, and 14. And not a magic weapon, so
14, okay. All right.
And I don't think I have movement because my movement is separate from, or the same as the bear's until I dismounted, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then I have no movement. So
Alrighty.
I'm stuck right here.
Okay. All right. So as you charge forward, your bear kind of skidding to the side a bit, you just jump off of him as he runs down, not wanting to be up near this dragon. You bring this great sword around twice, able to make contact, but even as you do so, it almost, instead of like digging into this thing's scales, you bounce off more than hit it. You're able to do a little bit of damage to it, but it obviously seems to be resisting it.
Hey, Daniel.
Tara,
Welcome.
you're feared.
We're just
are
fighting a really
feared.
terrifying
Wait, no.
dragon right now.
Maccath is
That's all.
feared.
You know. Super exciting.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
If I move to here, is that counting as moving towards him?
You have to stay
Same distance.
30 feet away at all times.
Okay,
So, yeah,
so
you're fine.
I would go.
yeah, no, it was a
Yeah.
it was a question for haste.
Yeah.
So first thing we're gonna do is Stone Skull. You know what you're gonna get.
Okay.
Didn't you cast that before you?
Yeah,
Did I?
you did before we dropped down.
Oh, that's even better then.
Mhm.
Then yeah, no, we're not gonna do that because I did that to Stone Skull already.
Mhm.
All right, then we are going to twin spell paste on Steve and Ignalia.
Mm.
30 feet is the range.
30 feet. All right. Yeah.
That's why I had to move right there because she was
Gotcha.
35 feet away from me.
All right. So you will be hasted, and you will be hasted.
All right,
Buffs.
and we are just going to use my bonus action then to send Mr. Pebbles in. How far away is he? Yeah. Mr. Pebbles is going to go in and take 2 swings.
Okay.
A 15 and a 9.
Unfortunately, both of those will miss.
Mhm.
That's fine. He's there for cannon fodder.
Okay. Anything else?
That will end my turn for right now.
Alrighty, so moving around, you quickly move your hands such a way that the air kind of swirls around you and then swirls around Ignalia and Rogar as they are both hasted. Buffing them up for the fight, making them move faster and more agilely. You then send Mr. Pebbles in, who swings at this dragon, but is just unable to make contact, just kind of bouncing off of its thick scales.
Oh,
Steve.
and wait. Nope, didn't get it.
Nope, still feared or frightened.
Alright, I'm gonna move up next to Nelia and stab twice with the rapier.
Okay. How far can you move in a turn?
That sounds good.
Plus another D4. I mean, if it matters, man, it
Thank you,
doesn't
Gentleman
matter.
Joe, for the host. Very much
Oh,
appreciated.
you have inspiration though, or yeah, you have inspiration, so you
Yeah.
get another D8
yeah.
if you want to use that. So roll the D4 first for bless, then the D8. There you go. Ooh, beautiful. Oh, not beautiful. Unless it's 16.
16 hit.
16 will not hit, unfortunately, but the 20 will hit, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we know it's somewhere between 19 and 17.
Also for balance, you can move his inspiration off of him.
Okay.
Make sure we're tracking. I'm tracking it too.
All right.
Unless it's to be a fair fight.
Anything else?
Go ahead, disengage.
Okay. Alrighty, so Steve rushes in, moving incredibly fast with this haste on him, putting out 2 quick jabs with his rapier. The first one sinks in, just barely penetrating into this scaly hide of this dragon. Not doing a ton to it, even with the the stealth that he naturally got from it focusing on his allies. But you see a slitted eye kind of looking back towards you as you try to attack again, and it just flexes its muscles and knocks the second attack away.
I gotta move.
Maccath, what are you gonna do, girl? She is gonna look down, and she is going to fire off a magic missile at Arauthator.
Yeah.
So these missiles fly out from her fingertips, 3 of them coursing out of her, flying down past all of you, kind of darting back and forth and hitting Arauthator, doing a little bit of damage, not a whole lot.
Okay, so we know he has frost breath, so it's coming.
And with that,
Max
she is going
gets
to
next
step
up,
a few
so-
steps back and attempt to save. Oh yeah, she is no longer frightened.
Yeah.
All right.
I switched
to the
over
top
to
of the
see what
turn
she
order.
rolled to see what I needed. Well, that doesn't help me.
It's a 14.
As it gets back up to the top,
Mm-hmm.
this worked out well last time. He is going to roar once again, and once again, more icy shards, seeming kind of the remnants that were still standing up there, begin to fall. They don't hit the ones closest to him, but they do attempt to hit, or start falling very closely to the ones in the back. So starting with Max. 23.
That hits.
He will take 12 points of piercing damage. Tara, go ahead and give me a con save as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Tara, a 19.
No.
Nope. Okay, yeah. Uses her reaction to some of these
Good.
shards are falling right towards her, but Tara raises up an arcane barrier and blocks against it. And then Maccath, an 8 will miss
Still
her.
trying to
so
get
she
the ones in the back.
definitely dodges out of the way.
That's what he's doing.
And as eyes start falling, you see that there isn't a whole lot left up top, so you should be safe from that from now. From his roar at the very
He's gonna
least.
run.
Max, you're up.
The bastard's gonna run. Watch what I'm telling you.
So, I have detect magic up from when we started. I guess it would have dropped.
No,
But
it dropped.
Right. But that was going to be my question. Did I notice any magical auras on him before it dropped and Bless picked up?
Not really on him like you would expect, like sigils or protection or anything like that to be. You saw that he was kind of radiating magic like you see most magic users around you do.
Okay. Then I am going to cast Shatter. How tall is Arauthator?
Pretty tall, like 30 feet plus up in the air.
Okay, cool. I just I want to cast it in a spot where it's going to strike the head neck area and not like any of my cohorts.
Okay. What is that? A con save?
I thought it was Dex, but I'm not sure. Let me see.
Yeah, I think it's Dex.
Con. It's con.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, Shatter's a little bit different than the other AoEs,
yeah.
so he is going to roll a 9, actually failing that.
Yeah. There
So
you
he
go.
will take the full 12.
And that is where I'm going to end my turn. I'm saving my bonus action.
All right. So
you can't use a bonus action outside of your turn, can you?
No.
No, you cannot.
Okay. I always forget about that. Sorry.
There we go. That's why everybody looked funny. I had zoomed in too much. Okay. All right. So a loud crack of sound, this thunderous energy erupts above Arauthator's head, obviously hitting him with the attack, but you see his head doesn't even move with it. Doesn't seem to even care about that. As your turn ends, however, his tail reaches around towards Steve.
He is marked, so at disadvantage.
Okay, 16.
Nope.
Oh, because you have haste, so you have +2. Okay. All right. So I need to put a mark on him so I remember that. So yeah, as this tail whips around Steve, you're able to agilely kind of backflip out of the way of it, just in time to dodge the attack from it. But it is now his turn. With that, he looks in front of him, searching back and forth, and then you hear another and his head rears back as he unleashes a gigantic cone of cold.
Cool. Dex save.
From his position to where he wants to go. Mr. Pebbles, as well as the three of you in the back, will have to make dex or con saves rather.
Okay. So it's not me?
Not you.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of firing it a little bit more to the right, but
Gotcha. Okay.
So
And go back
me,
in that way.
Max, Mr. Pebbles, and
Maccath.
other NPC.
Maccath, yeah.
Okay.
Oof. All right, so all right, here we go. As this cone of cold erupts from his mouth, enveloping Mr. Pebbles, and then in turn going over the group in the back, you all feel just frigid, icy, almost magical energy seeping through your being. Unfortunately, Max, Maccath, and Mr. Pebbles will all fail and take the full 55 damage from that. Max, I need another con save from you. All right, you're able to. Oh wait, sorry. Calculator.
That should work. That should work.
Oof. Your bless drops.
What? It's 10
Half
plus
the-
spell. Or half damage.
Half damage, which is 23. Or, I mean, it would be 22 and a half, 22, right?
55.
55? No.
27.
It's 27.5.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. Phew. All right. Let's drop.
So, in rounding, does it round in my favor or not?
It will round in your favor.
Okay, so I'll take 13 points of damage.
All right. Go ahead and give me just a con save real quick.
Me?
Yeah, because you still took damage.
Yeah, you gotta get it's a
Really?
12.
It's
Oof.
for haste.
Unfortunately, as you were all hit by this wave of energy, the spellcasters in the back are unable to keep up their spells, and haste and bless both drop. And as it does so, Ignalia and Rogar are weakened by the effect and feel that they are going to be unable to move their next turns.
Ooh, this is gonna be rough.
Yeah, it's just chuckling at y'all. He's not going to do anything else. Doesn't need to. All right, that is his turn. Ignalia, you are stunned, if I remember correctly.
I was prone, so I'm just stunned now.
Let me make sure. Haste. You need another D&D Beyond.
I think it's a wave of lethargy.
Yeah, it's not stunned. We talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't move for a turn. They can't do anything for one turn.
Okay, yeah, so you're not stunned. You don't have a debuff on you. So you just, unfortunately, can't stand up or anything. Just as you're exhausted on the ground for a few moments. K-Bear's running away.
Yep.
He's freaking... Yeah.
I'm going to move to the other side over here. Actually, I want to more move like right here.
Okay.
And then, because F this guy, I'm going to get a bonus action special attack for hurting my friends. Oh god, I don't have bless anymore. 14's gonna miss, right?
Correct.
Alright, so that goes off, and then 2 standard attacks. Oh god. These rolls! What are these rolls?
Yeah. 2s and 4s. Or 5s.
Holy crap. Yeah, so that's all I do. I at least attempted to attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess I'll just die then.
Okay. As you swing at it, just your great sword just glancing off the thick hide of this dragon, Arauthator turns his head towards you and then he leans back again. And once again, his wings beat once out from him.
Mm-hmm.
I need everybody to give me dex saves around him. So everybody not on the back line.
Oh, sorry. Hold on 1 second.
Jesus Christ.
Mr. Pebbles is dead, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And me and Steve automatically fail dex saves.
Yeah.
Because lethargy, right?
Is it a 5-foot or 10-foot reach? Because
10 foot. Yep.
Yeah.
Does lethargy do that? I mean,
you
guess-
can't. Yeah, you can't do
Oh.
anything to try to dive out of the way of it or move out of the way of it.
Well, no, when it says the target can't move or take actions, I guess saves aren't included in that.
until after its next turn. Well, it's after your turn now, so
Mhm.
Oh, right. Well, I'd be fine. Okay, that's true.
you can make a dex save. Unfortunately, Steve cannot.
Can you make a dex save when he's prone?
Yeah, you can. Prone
Oh,
doesn't.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. You can.
Roll.
All right.
Uh.
Okay. Okay. Rogar, unfortunately, you're gonna automatically fail this. So everybody fails.
Mm-hmm.
And you all take 15 points of bludgeoning damage. And anybody not prone already
Minus
is now
5.
knocked prone from this attack.
So I'll take 5 points of damage on that.
Would I take half with evasion, even if I fail?
Yeah, we'll take that. That's fine.
What damage type is this? Just to be
Bludgeoning.
Just bludgeoning.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. I'm prone.
Why do you only take 5?
4 for the Aegis and
Oh,
then
okay,
half.
Aegis, yeah.
So 5.
Yeah, 'cause Aegis doesn't require concentration.
Correct.
All right. Dope. All right, neat. Okay, so the swing attack comes out once again. Seems like this dragon is just messing with you at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Terra.
What was the rules on quicken spell again? I can do 2 spells, right?
You can do 2 spells, but one has to be a cantrip.
Oh,
Can't cast 2 first level or higher spells in a turn.
I don't understand that because it doesn't say that on there.
It's just it's a general rule inside the player's handbook and
Okay.
spellcasting.
This is gonna be interesting. Because I'll be the only one left standing if
Yeah,
we
no,
keep
what we'll
this
do
up,
is just do.
honestly. Because I'm able to withstand the damage, where they can't. They're so screwed.
Oops, wrong one.
And I'm prone, so I need to get the hell up, too.
We're gonna cast Terra Burst at. Why didn't that let me do that higher? Okay, it's gonna be a 4th level.
Okay.
Um,
So 96 piercing.
right here. And I'm gonna put it just right on the edge where it doesn't catch my teammates there.
Okay. He will dex save. 15.
No, I don't think that
Fails.
does it.
He fails.
No, mine's a 16.
Okay.
So 96, 37.
We're only...
So as this eruption
We're
of
only in the
rock
second
flies
round
across
right
and
now.
explodes around it, you see Arauthator turning his head all too late to try to dodge the attack, but then he quickly just raises a wing up, blocking the brunt of it, and still only taking half.
And
Because he
for my
takes
bonus action, I'm
half
actually
on
going to
natural
resummon
spells.
Mr. Pebbles. What was the ruling on that? Does he resummon next to me, or can I resummon him in his spot?
I would say a spot within 30 feet of you.
Is that 30 feet of me? I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to resurrect him where he is.
Stands right back up the pile of rocks, reforms. That's sweet.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's rough. It's gonna be rough going here.
And that will,
Especially if I don't get any
If
hits
I
here.
All
can-
right.
I can't edit him. No, okay, never mind. I'm on the wrong. There we go.
It helps if you're not on the measuring tool. All right, so as the Terror Burst explodes, you see Arauthator blocks the brunt of it, seeing the obvious potential damage from that spell, not wanting to be a piece of it. But with that, we go back to Steve, who is unfortunately still weakened by losing haste. But after this, he'll be a little bit better. But Maccath not looking too good, not feeling too great. So she is going to step back quite a distance, 5, 10.
Oh,
30.
I forgot. My wisdom save. Was it a 14?
It was.
It was a 14.
Yes, it was. Yeah. So you are no longer feared.
Frightened.
Yes. And as she gets back here, she is going to fire off a firebolt. Ooh, natural 20.
Nice. Well
That's
carry
done.
us.
Do 38 points of damage to Arauthator, since we're going to use the rules for her. All right, so a beefy firebolt flies out of her hand, streaming across the room, growing in size as it impacts, slamming against him. You see Arauthator actually move just a subtle amount from the impact of the spell before his large form settles again. You see Maccath a little bit winded from that attack, but still standing. Max.
I need some healing energy. Oh, show. So as start channeling healing energy. Come on. Ugh, that's terrible. Really? Yeah, well, I guess that's not that bad.
Bonus action potion.
I don't have any. I don't keep them on me. I give them to you guys.
Always keep some.
So, yeah, and then I'm going to move, separate myself from Terra. So it's 20.
I'm about to
And then
do
I'm going to...
some team stuff.
Alright. I'm going to cast, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself.
All right. He just moved away from you, Zorn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't need to be near one another.
Okay. All right. So as you're stepping back, you quickly heal yourself up with this radiant energy from your cure wounds spell, and then try to protect yourself from any more targeted attacks with Sanctuary. As this happens, Arauthator's tail lashes out once again. Okay. Going for Steve, unfortunately.
Stop.
Steve is also prone, so this will have advantage. A 21 to hit. I believe that will connect with you for 11 bludgeoning damage. As it becomes his turn again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Here comes.
It's back.
Oh, no.
Here comes the breath. You ready?
With that, he
Here
moves
comes.
ever so slightly, sliding down a bit, seeing a line of people in front of him at this angle, and fires off another cold breath forward. All right, so it's only going to hit these three. If you can see that.
Okay.
He really hates Mr. Pebbles.
All right, so dex or con saves rather
Technically.
from
still.
Mr. Pebbles, Ignalia, and Terra.
And the dice gods are not being good to us tonight.
Okay, yeah, y'all are able to save this time. Still some damage coming out towards you though.
Wait.
Whew.
So
Holy shit.
mine gets halved 3 times.
Mine will too.
I don't think resistance stacks.
Does it not?
If I remember correctly, it is you take one of them.
Nope, you're correct.
Yep. So you can only half it once, unfortunately,
Oh,
unless you have other
twice.
effects.
With the con save, and then
Yeah,
Okay.
with the con save, that will do half damage, and then resistance comes in.
I'm taking that spell slot back.
yeah, that will be too.
Yep, makes sense. So it's like, don't blow them needlessly. Yeah, resistance does not stack. All right, so a slightly beefier breath of cold comes out of Arauthator's mouth,
Lair-
enveloping Mr. Pebbles.
No, these are
completely.
legendary attacks.
He's dead again. Shattering into pieces from this damage. Ignalia and Terra will take 31, and then half of that being 15 points of cold damage. Yeah, that's gonna be his turn.
Wow. His lair or react
Ignalia.
resistance.
I stand up.
Oh wait.
All right.
Oh, Max did heal, didn't
Big
he?
money. And I will skirt around him with the last bit of my movement. Just so that he's not catching us all in a line again. And yeah, I will Flame Blade. 25, sir.
Yes.
25 will hit.
Good hit.
Okay, I'm dumping Smite.
Okay.
Might as well. Yeah.
So let me go ahead and tally the actual damage for you.
Okay.
And yeah, I will quicken spell, do it again.
Juan, thank you so much for the raid. Very, very much appreciated. And welcome everybody. We are taking on Arauthator, a ancient white dragon
I
who's
think we know that
been
misses.
just wrecking us terribly.
Unfortunately,
So
a 16 will
gonna
miss.
be a little rough, but
But he's
we're
fine.
hopefully gonna make it through. We'll see. And again, thank you, Juan, for the host and the raid. Very much appreciate it.
Anything else?
Nope. That is it for me.
Alrighty, so a big hit from the first strike, dealing fire, slashing, and radiant damage as this wound explodes, able to carve out a decent little chunk out of Arauthator's kind of back leg. You see his head swiveling back towards you, his eyes opening with rage. As your second attack unfortunately bounces off and unable to gain purchase on him. Cave Bear is hiding around the corner. Stone Skull.
All right. Well, I got a question.
Uh-huh.
If I wanted to, say, drop something to the floor and kick it to somebody, not trying to be super proficient with it, just get it closer to them, would you let me do that on a bonus?
Sure.
I'm going to drop a potion of greater healing to the ground and kick it in the direction of Max.
Okay.
And then for my action, I'm going to take my 2 swipes.
All right.
So, 1. Ugh, so rough. Holy crap,
no.
dude, these rolls.
Wow.
Oof. Big ol' oof.
Oh, and using my movement, obviously, to stand. But it might not even matter now, so we'll see.
Okay, a 40. All right, so as you bring this great sword around the first time, once again, it just clanks off the scales of Arauthator,
These
and as you bring it around a
rolls.
second time, it once again clanks off, and you see this hulking form, this extremely large and dangerous creature standing menacingly in front of you. And you feel like you can't do anything in this fight.
I do
and
feel
your
that
confidence
way.
begins to falter. You have disadvantage on your next attack roll against enemy targets.
Thank you, Seabig, for 7 months in a row.
Argue
Very
with
much
that for right
appreciate
now.
it. All right.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's
All
it.
right. Stone Skull quickly kicks this somewhat larger bottle of healing over towards Steve. It kind of slides to a hole right next to him. Being kind of precisely done. Oh, wait. Did you kick it towards Max or Rogar?
Max.
Okay.
Why would you kick it towards me? Like
I'm kicking
thought
it towards
meant-
you. I said I
Why?
was kicking it
Kick it
towards
towards
you.
Steve. Oh, I'm gonna yell, Steve, get it, grab it, as it's sliding past him on its way to me.
Unfortunately, Steve's hands miss as he reaches out for it. And then Stone Skull vainly tries to attack Arauthator, unable to gain purchase on him. Terra.
All right. We're gonna do the same thing that I did last time. Bonus action. Mr. Pebbles gonna come back,
Okay.
and this time we're gonna do Terra Burst at level 5.
Okay. Dex save coming out of Arauthator. 5.
So 10d6 coming up.
I just had
Oh,
to lower that
Wow.
volume on that. Ooh,
What?
man.
That's almost average. It's not too bad.
Yeah, right. I'm like, wait. We want to see something spectacular, but that's basically.
Really not terrible. It's actually a little lower than average, but yeah. So he's not even going to really buffet himself against that. You see his eyes slowly turning down towards Ignalia. He seems completely distracted by her after she attacked him. He takes
I'm
the full
gonna-
brunt of that.
I'm going to move right here.
Sorry.
Miss Bliss, thank you so very much for the
All
follow.
right.
Very
Mark
much
does fall off
appreciated.
if you don't land an attack, right?
That's correct.
Okay, just make sure. All right, so another Terror Burst comes out, exploding next to Arauthator, hitting him, obviously, doing good damage, but he doesn't seem to care. And with that, we go to Steve, who is prone.
Alright, stand up
Uh-huh.
and attempt
Get the
to
poke.
stab with the rapier again, maybe?
An 18 will hit.
Found it.
Is it 18 or is it 17?
I think a 17 failed once.
All right. Ooh.
All right.
Alright, and disengage.
Okay.
Because that's what I needed.
So yeah, as you rush forward,
This is
able
rough.
to bring up a quick strike with your rapier, finding another piercing in between its thick scales, doing a good chunk of damage to it, but he is still very much standing. Maccath, standing back here.
It's looking
What's
a
she
little
gonna do?
rough.
she is going, knowing it worked pretty well last time, she's going to raise her hand up and shoot another firebolt off. Ugh, unfortunately, an 8 is going to miss.
Not even close.
Maximilian. There's a potion laying next to you.
On the ground. Yeah, I'll just drop, from the sky. It's just down below me.
Yeah.
I'll just like kind of tuck my wings and plummet, and pick it up and drink it. What are you thinking for like action?
Bonus action.
It's bonus.
Oh, nice. Then what is that? What's the
greater is 44 plus 4.
Okay. Boom. Thank you, sir.
All right, another 14.
I am then
Really not just... I don't have many options here.
have it remind me, because I feel like we set a precedent earlier for that specific crit fail, that being stunned for the bardic inspiration to undo it. Am I wrong in that?
I think I said I didn't want to set a precedent for it, but I was using it for that one time and allowing it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I couldn't remember.
That's actually exactly what he said.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I
Nice.
didn't want to set a precedent for it.
Cool. Then I am going to cast Fairy Fire right above it, again in an effort to catch just his head, at the top of his body, and not.
Yeah, I'll allow that. He's towering over all of you, so
Right. I mean, he'd definitely be able to be encompassing it without touching them.
yeah. So he's gonna dex save. He's been real good at these.
Yes!
So as the fairy fire, this kind of golden light begins to
Finally
encompass him, you see
something.
Arauthator shake his head, and as he does so, the golden light shatters away from him.
I'm A-okay with that. Is that one of those legendaries that he just said no? He shook it off?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Was that his second or third?
Good for him.
I don't know.
Good for him. We'll see. Let's see how many more he can handle.
Anything else?
No, that's it. That's all I can
All
do.
right. So as your arcane energy is just completely obliterated, even though it felt like the spell had connected, you see Arauthator raising his tail once again to bring it down at someone within range.
Me.
This time going towards Stone Skull.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one. Gonna
Poor-
fail on that
Poor
one.
thing's gonna lose a tail. Aw. How unfortunate.
Tails afraid of you.
We'll see if it rolls on something that he can actually be affected by. If not, then nothing will happen, unfortunately.
Hits himself in the eye.
Yeah, he's not gonna fall prone,
Oh,
unfortunately.
come on!
Not here.
Come on!
Not in his lair.
Not
He thought
in his
about
lair.
it, and then he chuckled.
This my house, son.
So his attack goes slightly wide. You see the force of it kind of winding his body around, but the tail slowly comes to a stop as he turns towards Ignalia.
Hello.
And he is going to look down you and say, "You're first." And with that, he makes 3
no.
attacks at you.
Oh, goody.
An 18 on the first one,
No.
a 20 on the
No.
second,
No.
and a 22 on the
Yeah.
third.
Hasted. No, you're not hasted.
Not
Never mind.
hasted no more.
Wasted.
Bring up shield.
Yep.
As you
That's
do
so good.
you see this claw coming around from you. The first 2 attacks bouncing off of your armor and your shield with the second one. As the third one comes down, you can't bring your shield around in time, and you raise your hand up in this arcane ward. And as you see this claw coming down, clearly going to bounce off
He's
the shield,
gonna
the shield
dispel it.
shatters. And then the claw rips through your body for 18 slashing.
He dispelled it.
Yep.
That fucker.
I imagine like he hit it, like it's stalled him for a second. You just like kind
That's
of
not
pushed
cool,
through
man.
it. No, I don't fucking think so.
His reaction is gone, nerds. Unload.
It is
Alright.
time.
The third one hits, and you see Arauthator beginning to look around at you all and says, somewhat stronger, these ones. You'll die the same. Ignalia.
Okay. I am going to reach into my bag and use Coton's ointment.
Nice.
I have that. I bought it like
Nice.
20 episodes.
Yeah.
And now I get to use it.
So I will take 12 hit points back.
Okay.
Mhm.
You're all starting to see just the faintest looks of slight fatigue and damage appearing on Arauthator.
Yay.
Yay. And then I will quicken and use Flame Blade.
He's looking more frustrated than anything.
Yes.
Really, it is. Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Get ready.
Do it. Do it. Do
Okay.
it.
So that's 16 slashing. That will be... God, doing bad math
Come
in my
on,
head.
smite that son of a bitch.
That'll be 17 fire.
Okay.
And then...
Do the smite.
Smite.
Do it.
Oh, Jesus.
That'll be 72 radiant.
Oh.
Bring in the
Alright.
thunder.
Oof. That's a lot of damage.
Did I break 100?
I think so.
Look
Yeah.
at the smite.
Yeah,
damage.
I hit
You almost maxed that. Ooh.
Holy hell, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
so
if we were
high.
needing it right then. Oh,
that
my
was
goodness.
yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
they are gonna be
My
building
God is with me,
cathedrals in your
beast.
name.
And that is my turn.
Yes.
All right.
Oh my
So
God
as
is with me, beast.
as Ignalia pulls out this ointment that she's had and kind of just quickly, slashes it out in front of her, covering some of her wounds. You see it immediately start to kind of burn up a bit, healing up some of her wounds from the damage she's taken. Then she quickly brings her sword around, and as she does so, it slices, burning with this radiant and fire energy just coalescing within it, slashing through it, cutting through this dragon for the first time like butter as she does so. Slashing through it, you see scales begin to flake off of him. You hear him grunting in pain. It kind of stumbles back a step. A loud crunch under its foot as it is forced back a step from this heavy attack coming out of Ignalia. And more just rage is now fully burning in his eyes. And in response to that, he is going to beat his wings once again. Dex saves from everybody in the middle.
Oh, get him!
Get him.
I mean, he didn't.
What is with all of these rolls?
I mean, I
man?
know, Mr. Pebbles didn't save, but I mean, he has a -1, so yeah.
Look, I already can't do shit to him for damage. I don't need all of these failed 11s and 9s for everything. It's
Insult to
ridiculous.
injury over here.
It is.
All right, so unfortunately, everybody but Rogar finds themselves falling prone and taking 8 points. Oh, min damage. 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
2 points
Oh.
of bludgeoning
Could have gone
damage.
worse.
4 points of bludgeoning damage.
2 for me.
Prone.
I mean, don't put it on me because I'm gonna stand right back up.
Oh yeah. Well. Oh yeah. It is your turn.
My turn's coming up.
Yeah. All right. So it getting Arauthator obviously a bit frazzled now as he's lashing out wildly a bit. Cave Bear's nowhere to be seen. Stone Skull.
Stone Skull is gonna do the obvious Stone Skull thing. He's gonna mount a dragon after he stands up.
Okay.
And
Nope.
then he's gonna just try to hack away and hope that something hits this time. Because I really need it to hit. First one's at disadvantage, so let me roll that again. So 11.
11 misses.
25. Finally hits.
25 will hit.
For 16 damage, and he is marked. And I will strength whatever I need to here.
He's marked. There we go. All right. Yes, you will need to make a athletics check versus his strength.
Okay.
You need to go against the strength check with dragon.
Oh.
Which way do I rule that?
I mean, if it meets, it beats, and Stone Skull's making the attack.
Stone Skull's attempting to stay on Arauthator's back. So we'll
The
say
modifier,
that his attempts to try to shake him off,
Yes.
unfortunately, do not work, and Stone Skull stays riding on the back of this huge creature. As Arauthator is just swirling around, beating himself around, but unable to shake him.
Distraction. Distraction.
As
make it
the second
hard to
attack
hit.
lands from the greatsword, dealing a little bit of damage to the back of Arauthator, you see him raising his tail once again, and it's slashing down towards Ignalia.
At disadvantage.
Oh, shit. Actually,
Regular.
Oh, right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
12. That's going to miss.
Suck it.
All
And it
right.
drops his cell
He
again.
needs a couple bad rolls. Make up for it.
All right.
All right. Time to do
That's
it.
his turn. Tara.
Ruling on Mr. Pebbles being prone, my bonus action controls his movement and his attack. So my bonus action, can he just stand up and attack?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah,
Greater
just
Hurling
use attack
Potion was
movement.
44 plus 4, right?
4d4 plus 4, yes.
All right, I
That's
am going to dig a potion on my bag and use it for me.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I'll have Mr. Pebbles stand up and try and attack him. I think he's still in range.
Yeah.
Yep.
A 17 and a 21.
21 hits.
So it is
Or 11
18.
bludgeoning.
18 is the AC here.
Okay.
That'll end my turn.
Okay.
Alrighty. Tara chugging a potion, summoning Mr. Pebbles back up to his feet, and attacking, able to land a decent hit onto him, but not doing a ton of damage. Steve.
Step in and stab with rapier again.
Ooh,
Yes.
23 hits. Oof.
Good
God,
damage.
that's 5d6s.
Good
Ridiculous.
damage.
It's a lot.
But disengage.
All right.
Disengage. Back up
Steve,
one
once
more.
again.
One more?
Yeah. He has a 10-foot range. Back up one
Yeah,
more.
he has at least a 10-foot range.
You're
It's
right.
not that it's hit him once, I don't think. He's like, no, it's fine. It's cool.
Yeah, every time he keeps backing up, I'm like, no, one more. Come on, one more.
He's like, well, you guys keep falling down. It's easy. Just make a dex save.
All right. So with that, Steve, another quick attack. Maccath, once again, not really having a lot, but having magic missile still, decides to go ahead and cast that instead of Firebolt, which missed last time. So going for the guaranteed hit, getting 11 damage on
Yeah.
Arauthator. Make sure I'm clicking on the right person because you're on top of each other. Some strange orgy. Okay.
As it should be.
Is
All
there
right,
any other
Max. Yeah, fine.
All
right.
I'm going to start moving this way. Actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm going this way. Still airborne in the loft. And I am going to cast Fairy Fire again.
Okay. He's going to attempt to save a 10.
Doesn't save.
That will not save.
And this time, you see the
It lights him
radiant,
up.
kind of energy, the arcane energy,
Lights him
rather,
up.
coming off of him, stick to him this time as he's unable to, as he's struggling with Stone Skull.
Straddling him.
across the
Trying to
back and
Stone
the
Skull's
neck.
on his back.
Yeah.
Like, does that hit Stone
I mean,
Skull
I
too?
can dex save. I can see it happening, so I'll have advantage on it.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna say just because of your positioning, go ahead and do a dex save.
That's fine.
Yeah, you'll save. Nice.
There
All
you
right,
go.
cool. So that worked out well. So yeah, just Arauthator is consumed by this golden light as fairy fire takes effect.
Oh, you can do the awesome like cinematic effect too. Like he's hanging there by his blade in his back, sees it, like just lets go for a sec, like with some magic underneath it, and swoops back through and grabs the hilt like, with the other hand. Like, oof, all right, that'll help.
Maybe next time.
All right. So as this happens, you do anything else, Max?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a point of inspiration to Stone Skull.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So as this happens, you see Arauthator looking back and forth, and he lowers his head very briefly and then raises it again. And as he does so, he points his snout and his mouth up to the sky and lets out a tremendous roar. As he does so, you all have to raise up and quickly cover your ears from the sheer sound of it.
Ooh.
Everyone give me con saves.
Okay.
Nope.
I'm going to. Is it D8 still?
Yeah.
Ooh, only a 1. So an 18. It's probably a 19.
All right. So as this roar goes off, unfortunately, Ignalia and Stone Skull
Damn it.
are unable to save against it as you feel your entire body shake with the power of it, and you find yourselves stunned.
Cool.
I don't know if that affects Mr. Pebbles or not.
He's not deaf, so yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Oops.
So is that one turn?
Yes, you will be stunned until the end of your next turn.
So that means I'm gonna fall here. He'll knock me off, which is fine.
Mr. Pebbles make his con save.
Yeah, no, he failed. He got a 6.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Unfortunately, he is also stunned from this just roaring energy. With that, yeah, he's just going to start shaking a bit, breaking your grapple off of him, and you kind of tumble off to the side, Stone Skull. He looks down at the fallen Ignalia and once again says, "I said you were first," and makes 3 attacks. with
Still at
advantage.
disadvantage. It
Oh,
would
yeah,
be
so
canceled out.
All right, so 27.
That will hit.
All right, and 30
Also hits.
and 17.
Doesn't hit.
All right, so as the bite sinks into your skin, crushing under your armor, you take 15. As the first claw slams down into your body, you take another 16. I think that's enough, though.
So you are... Wait, so 15 plus 16 for 31?
31.
I have exactly 31. My mantle erupts in flame, explodes, covers him, and I go back up to 1 point.
Nice.
He will take...
Half sorcerer level plus charisma.
15 fire damage. Oh, and... No, yeah, it's probably included. Yeah, 15 fire
Ooh.
damage from it.
Interesting.
15?
Yep.
Interesting.
How so? Oh, from you have extra fire damage on top of that.
No, it's... Well, I'm not even including that because I think it's already assumed. It is sorcerer level plus double charisma, so 7 plus 8 is 15.
Okay, all right.
And if
I
it's
didn't read
including
the
mantle,
section.
then that's 19.
But it takes half that damage. No, it's just half your... Yeah, it would be half that. Right?
No, read the full thing. My mantle of flame is up.
Yeah, it's the second part.
I see what you're saying. I
That's
was
what
only
I read
reading the
wrong,
first
too. I was
part,
like,
yeah. Wait,
yes,
no.
It's like, no, it's only half. Wait,
No.
it's your full sorcerer level plus double charisma. All right, so yeah, as Ignalia is brought down to nothing, crunching under the attack from Arauthator, her form explodes in this fiery, radiant light. You see Arauthator kind of buffeting his head back as he takes this damage. But as he does so, he shakes his head, seeing Ignalia still weakly standing there in front of him. And then you see him shaking his head. Formidable. We'll meet again. And with that, he begins moving around Stone Skull and heading towards this water.
He's gonna run. Son of a bitch.
Mr. Pebble's stunned. Ignalia's stunned. Stone Skull stunned. Disappears into the water.
Coward.
I'm going to immediately rush over to Ignalia. Since I have the ability, as much juice as possible. And wow, my rolls suck.
So how much is it?
18 total.
Man,
Yeah, can I turn around?
not a fan of this.
Is everyone okay? Where's yell for Maccath too? I don't think I've really paid attention to whatever she's been doing.
So as this is happening, you see Arauthator moving, not quickly, not escaping with great pace. He just calmly walks around those that couldn't attack him at all from his roar, and slips into the water, disappearing under this kind of icy surface. You see bits of ice flowing around his body as this huge form disappears into the water out of sight. After a few moments, you see even the shadow from his form disappearing far below the water.
So, how long passes?
A couple seconds so far. Two. Trying to decide. Yeah, we'll go ahead and end combat. It's fine.
Is that? Yeah, I was gonna ask. Are we out of combat, or are we staying in combat and taking turns?
Yeah, he's not coming back for now.
He's not very thrilled.
As soon as you're, so you assume.
The cosmic energy leads one to believe that
That maybe, just maybe,
maybe,
you did enough to scare off Arauthator.
Come on.
I want to, where is, Yellow Maccath? If he's gone, now's our time to leave.
As you say that, you see Maccath peering up, kind of looking, over towards Terra. She moves up. You see that she's part of her skin that's hanging out from her robes is kind of frosted over a bit. And she's kind of holding her shoulder from the damage she took from that frost breath. But that she looks over and kind of raises a hand. She says, "I can't believe you did it. I didn't expect him to leave so easily."
Easily. I spit up blood.
We're kind of leaning. Yeah, I'm covered in frost. Yeah, easy. It was super easy.
I mean, it was kind of easy.
Why didn't you try and jump on him in the first place?
Well, I wasn't landing any attacks, so I was a little afraid.
You should have started with desperate. Lead in with desperate. That's a dragon. Next time. I like it.
Darius just gonna come up and check on Mr. Pebbles. Man, you took a bunch of shots there, Mr. Pebbles.
Yeah, he did.
I want to now kind of get we get a second to just kind of get another gauge of the room here.
Yeah, so as you're looking around, though you saw up to your northeast where you came into this room, you see that there was some treasure and such that seemed to be laid out about there. As you look down, you see even more down to your southwest, kind of shimmering in the bit of this dim light that seems to radiate through this hall. Once again, you see these large pools kind of swirling back and forth. You see minor waves kind of going up and down, though you don't see in the presence of anything coming back up for the time being.
He's not gone.
But you see, gold and jewels and other treasure lies scattered on the floor. and frozen into the
So-
walls of this chamber off to your west.
Hear me out, chat. There's no way that he left. None.
Well,
He's still here. There are tons of
one spell
openings
slot.
in the ice for him to pop out of, right? I mean, there are a few little ponds and things
let's
in the
see.
water or in the ice.
So the thought is,
I'm-
few things that are.
I'm not buying that this dragon's gone.
You should.
Okay.
Well, we should be quick.
I mean,
If he comes back, we need to prepare. We need to at least try and arm ourselves with whatever we've got.
As you cast Detect Magic, you start looking around this room. You see there's several things around this area that seem to be radiating magic.
Let me get my notes. real quick.
I'm telling you, I just don't
Go
think
ahead.
he's gone.
You see frozen into the wall a couple of items. You see 3 potions kind of down towards the ground, frozen into the wall. You see what appears to be a almost black as night saddle, also encased in the wall that radiates magic. As you're looking around further, you see kind of laying in the floor off to your west in this kind of corner over here. You see a couple of other items. It's hard to make out exactly what they are, but it appears to be another potion of some kind in this kind of orb that radiates some magic. You also see very faintly what appears to be a wand of some sort, as well as a ring, all radiating magic. And amongst all of this, kind of frozen in the walls, laying piled up in the
Yeah,
floor,
they don't.
you see gold and silver and precious stones, as well as different items that seem to be worth monetary value, kind of artistic and artistic objects, as well as jewelry and such.
Not buying it, man.
Yeah, I'm really only interested in the magical stuff at the moment.
Yeah, while they're
They'll
going
start
about getting
moving it up.
magic items, I'm going to just start collecting as much gold and silver and whatnot as I can, and I'm going to put one of my extra bags on Mr. and throw it in there.
Got a shopping cart now.
Yeah, Mr. Pebbles is my shopping cart. I have an extra bag from when we found something earlier, so Mr. Pebbles is going to have a bag on him with gold and silver.
Okay.
You tell me what I find.
You find a bunch of gold and precious stones and silver. You find a bunch of artistic objects that seem to be worth a considerable amount of money themselves.
He's been a collector for some time, huh?
Has. Yes, he has.
Take a few pieces out of his collection. That won't piss him off. Hey, come in, scare him off, and take his finest pieces. Like, these little mortals.
The obsidian statue, do I notice anything weird about it?
No, I mean it's looks
just
kind of
an
weird as
obsidian
it's,
statue.
yeah, it's not radiating magic or anything.
Okay.
What's Jet set in the hill?
Does the longsword have a scabbard?
It does, yes.
I'm gonna attach the scabbard to Mr. Pebbles too.
Okay.
Mr. Pebbles is now gonna be a dashing golem with a beautiful longsword that he can never use.
Okay. And once again, these items radiating magic, you see
Just for flavor, I'll cast Detect Magic and help Max identify.
I want to. No, I'm not gonna. I was gonna hand the saddle to you, but I don't know what it does yet, so I'll hang on to it. I'll be able to figure that out. Oh.
3 potions, a saddle.
Spelling was hard.
Wow.
Spelling
Holy
good.
crap, so much stuff. There's so much stuff there, but man, I don't know. Telling you,
Alright,
I'm
and as you
still
find
not
yourself
sold
going
on
through
this thing being gone.
this loot, gathering up what you can, kind of chipping the ice away. None of it very deep inside the icy tomb around you. You start to gather up all these items, and as you start to think about what they could be and what they might do, actually, we're gonna go ahead and take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
We did it, Reddit.
I'm gonna. Yeah, we did it. I'm gonna smash the vial against Stone Skull. See what happens.
Hey, Stone Skull, you know what this does? Splash.
Nope.
Oh, that looks bad. Oh, he's gonna be so mad when that wears off.
You gain Venom's powers.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna
Venom's
take
oh.
a short 5-minute break, and when we get back, we will continue on here. So, be right back. All right. Well, we're about ready to come back here. Looks like we're doing all right here. Oh, I wouldn't have minded. It's fine. You could have dropped it on me. I have resistance to everything anyway, so.
Well, I think we're about to ding. I'm gonna look really hard for a single target, not AOE spell.
Yeah.
Because I don't have one. Like, the only one I have is a cantrip.
Is this 10?
It will be 10, yeah.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really get anything
Yeah,
fun.
whenever that is.
I don't think.
All right.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Just waiting on Havoc now.
I'm still kind of surprised we lived after that awful beginning.
Man,
So-
the roll.
So, my thought process with that potion was you could drop that potion on your bonus and then still keep casting heals on everybody else.
Yeah, see, my thought was being more reactionary with, healing movement. You know what I mean? And just like play, like if I needed to go heal somebody, just to like start flitting around and start
Yeah.
sprinkling heal shit all over everyone.
I mean, I literally watched your health bar go from full to like nothing,
Yeah.
like right off the
I had
bat.
it
So I'm
with-
like, no,
hit me-
that's not
He
happening.
hit me for 13 and dropped me to 66, and then I took 55 points of damage.
All right. So, according to chat, we need to move into Arauthator's lair and assert our dominance now.
I'm gonna shit in his bed.
Ooh. Oh.
Look, I feel like I could go a couple more rounds.
I'm definitely good to go for a while.
Because we lost haste, fatigue. Just everybody got hit with everything, almost wiped, and we still I feel like having probably dialed it back just a little bit.
Yeah, that's
that's
the one con save I failed.
Though.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I
that's the
mean?
one
Like, we're
con save I
all,
failed.
like,
I mean, okay.
sub 5 on
So-
everything.
I mean, I still have everything left almost. Like the only thing I
Yeah.
don't have is action surge, which we used earlier in the troll fight. But I still have second
Yeah.
wind. I have stone's endurance. I had 4 more of the mark that I could have used. I still have another count of rage. I mean, if he comes back, I still got plenty in the tank for it.
I have 2 more 4th level spell slots, 1 more 3rd level spell slot, 2 2nd level, 3 1st level.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm tapped.
I've got almost that many spells.
I got 1 3rd level left. There 1 2nd level left.
Okay.
And don't worry, guys. Before I stepped out of Bard, I picked up Identify,
Nice.
so we'll know exactly what everything's worth, or exactly what everything does, like to the T. Triggers, the whole 9 yards. I knew it was because you could switch out to the last level. I was like, "There's no fucking spells that I want," and looked down. I was like, "Oh, but I like that."
Look
Like,
forward to the next level.
it's no good at level 1, but it's mighty good at level 8 and 9, and 10.
Yeah, but just remember, you can only identify one item with each cast.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
casted 5. Yeah, I got 5 casts of it.
Yeah.
So,
But we could also just identify it over a short rest if we have one.
Yep.
what?
You can take a short rest to figure out an item's magical properties.
That's literally the lamest thing I think I've ever heard.
Because you have a worthless spell.
No.
I'm kidding.
No, yeah. Like, wait a second. Like, that doesn't...
I'm back. I'm
Alright.
just eating real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever you say, Arauthator.
I like the dragon sound effects, too. Those were good. The
Yeah.
one where you, like, got real loud. I was like, oh, shit.
Havoc's all happy, got Sirenscape going.
I love Sirenscape. It's awesome. Do I
Hey, this
do?
bitch ass run. That's right,
Oh, I'll
bitch.
do.
He's like, I'll see you again. I bet you will. I'll whoop your ass then, too. Just remember, one of us is running.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so just to recap, we found a bunch of fancy art like we always do. Mr. Pebbles is literally decked out in precious gems right at the moment.
Yep.
He has a
there's-
very dashing sword.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
a very dashing sword, a gold dragon comb, like a brooch. Like he's literally just a southern rich gentleman right now.
He is a debutante.
He's one cane away from owning a KFC.
One platinum covered cane, yeah.
All right. So I take-
yeah, an obsidian statue, whatever. 3 potions,
Yeah,
a saddle.
definitely take
We know who that's
that
going
next.
to, no matter what it does.
No matter what it
Black vial,
Mr. Pebbles.
does.
a crystal globe, a ring, and a wand.
Oh,
We're gonna tie the saddle onto
Shit.
Mr. Pebbles'.
I'm calling
so
dibs on the wand.
do I?
Yeah, I have a wand of secrets, and I was debating on whether to use it.
All
I
right.
just don't know when. Like,
So
it's a 30-foot range. This is like a 1,000-foot place.
all right. So here's my quandary. Do I next level? I mean, I definitely should take 7th, get my 7th level in fighter so that I can get warding maneuver because I need it for the mount. My problem is if I go 4th level barbarian, then at that point I'm going up 2 points in con, which gives me a bigger health pool, and I'm also going to go up 1 point in AC because of unarmored defense, so I'll be up to an 18 AC instead of 17. Kinda on the fence because that would be super powerful, getting that extra boost. I mean, I know I have to have warding maneuver, but I mean, at this point, if I keep going, I need to get like the next 4 levels in fighter almost, because I'll get warding maneuver, and then I'm gonna put the feed in for mounted combatant, and then I'm here, and then sorry, I was chatting with chat. Inside chat. They didn't hear you.
die
They
yet.
didn't hear you. Say it again.
It's fine. Chat doesn't-
Hello.
All right. So as you're all going through looting,
Yeah.
as it were, going through and looking at all this stuff, you discover, even though this is obviously plentiful, as far as what all you've been able to find here, you do realize that Arauthator was a very old dragon. He's been around for a very, very long time. This wasn't nearly enough for it to be his actual hoard. And you all, and Rogar especially, you recall information that once dragons become so old and their hoards become so large, they begin to move outward, kind of expanding out, as it were. And
Colonizing.
you know that they do tend to have other layers, much smaller ones they won't defend as fiercely, ones they won't leave as much of their hoarded treasure at as well. And you get the very distinct realization that you probably didn't fight him at his full power in his actual lair for his actual hoard.
I didn't fight him for the horde.
Yeah, though. That's a
I
big
fought
greedy
him 'cause
dragon
I wanted
talking.
Yeah, I fought him because I wanted to punch a dragon in the face.
Yeah. What up, bitch? Walk into your house. Pow! Get out! Nice place you got here. Shame if some people came here and took it from you.
But what he's saying is this is only his summer home.
I wouldn't
Well,
even
guess what?
call it his summer home, honestly. Like, this is like his rental property that he
This
has
is
down
his farm.
south that he shows up to every once in a while to check and make sure everything's still put
What?
together.
What,
Well,
I just
guess
dropped
what?
a hundo
He's no
on a
longer
timeshare?
welcome. Condo or a
Yeah,
timeshare?
yeah, it's
Definitely
That
his
exact
timeshare
year.
lair. Yep, his timeshare lair. That is what you just fought him at. Because you'll notice, and kind of revealing a little bit behind the screen here, he only took a couple lair actions and then he stopped.
Yeah. Oh.
You'll notice that he only cast a spell twice, even though you were told that he was a spellcaster, a fearsome one in his own right, by the ice toads that knew about him, as well as Maccath. And you're even reaffirmed by this as Maccath rejoins you, still a bit astonished that you are all still alive, still breathing. But she even reaffirms that this is not his lair. This is not where he keeps his hoard. This is a place that he asserts dominance on just to expand his reach here in the Sea of Moving Ice, which is his domain. And that you did weaken him, not to take anything away from you. You did damage him and cause him to not necessarily fear for his life, but fear that he may not win this battle handily like he's won so many more. But you're definitely a little bit shaken by the thought that even to the very end, Arauthator was still toying with you.
Yeah, I mean, he's not getting into a mortal fight. He's willing to fight for a little bit, and once Scott made him bleed, he's like, all right, okay, I'm done. I'm like, no. Like, I was willing to entertain it, but you guys got some tricks. I'm not interested. I don't want to lose a leg.
Y'all got serious, and I don't feel like it today. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You have a bunch of interesting items in your possession now, and you're down in here. It took you a little bit of time, about 30 minutes, and you noticed as you're going down here, the adrenaline has started to calm down a bit. You've noticed that it is extremely cold down here.
Is it? I feel pretty good.
I kind of like it.
Except for those of you that have resistance to cold.
No, it's cold to me.
Smoldering intensifies.
It's cold as balls.
I'm gonna rummage around in my bag, and I am going to toss Max a potion of warmth.
Oh, that's funny. I thought he had fire in his belly.
It's in my lungs, not my belly.
It feels real good in hot environments, but cold ones, not so much.
Not so good.
I think the rest of us are fine.
Yeah.
Is Steve fine? I don't feel like
Steve's
Steve
not
is fine.
No, Steve's not fine. He's freezing.
Steve needs some cocoa.
Steve can hop into the bear's saddlebags and
Just right along with him.
kind of curl up into a ball.
As you're all kind of grouping up and such, you see Maccath, obviously, a tiefling and everything, obviously good in warm environments, much like the rest of you, or most of you here, but not doing so well down in this deep cold. You see her kind of huddling her arms, wrapping her arms around herself, shivering here and there, but she looks up and says, well, if you're done, I would like to leave this place. This cold is just exhausting me.
Is there anything else that you know of down here on this ice block that we should take before we leave?
With that, she shakes her head. She says, honestly, I knew of this one entrance here. I've heard whispers about another one that leads to the other side of this cavern, but Arauthator let it slip once that, unfortunately, if we had gone that way, we would have had to deal with his traps that he has set up, and those traps are arcane in nature. He was very proud of them.
Let's see. It's best not to deal with that hurdle.
With that, she points up back towards where you came from. I would advise, unless you want to go through the rest of this cavern, that we go back the way we came. If someone was able to tie a rope to the top for those of us unable to fly, but she does twist her hands. I do have enough arcane energy within me to help us ascend through the cavern if necessary.
So, kind of unfurl my wings. I'll manage.
With that, she nods and starts moving back towards the hole. Oops.
I do have a lot of secrets if we wanted to explore the rest of the cavern.
How so?
It shows traps too.
Like, we can't do anything about the traps, though.
We could walk around them.
It wouldn't be very good traps then.
Unless the trap is going to bury me in gold somehow, I don't think it's worth it.
Right. We know the place is trapped. Yeah, we could see them. You know, like I think I'm all right.
Yeah, I think we should go.
All right, let's go then.
Because, like I said,
before Steve over here freezes.
He's gonna come back at some point. And I mean, it might not be tomorrow. You know, I mean, maybe not a week or so. We need to tell these people to like bounce. You guys gotta get out. Like, it's good to go. We gotta go right now. Oh, we gotta go tell the frog people. We gotta call them frogs to really piss them off.
Oh yeah, we really do need to go tell the frog people. Those guys doubting us.
All right, so venturing back up the cavern.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will take the length of rope necessary and fly up the tunnel.
Okay.
And anchor it, and then when the bear's down, tie it around the bear, and we'll pull it up. Me and Stone's Call, I guess.
Yeah, me and Stone Skull. Weak old dragon-born arms.
All right. As this is all going on, Max flying back up through there, tying off a rope and leading it back down. Actually, have to. I don't remember. How far is it? Yeah, it was 50 feet. So yeah, the rope reaches just down to the ground. Most of you are able to go up there, but you're left in a bit of a dilemma when it comes to Stone Skull's bear. Not really having the appendages needed to climb. But seeing this dilemma, Maccath walks over and says, "If your bear will allow me to touch it, I think I can help with this."
Stone Skull will pet the bear and say, "This one's not food."
With that, she kind of nods and says, "This may be a bit strange." And she holds out her hand and lays it on the side of the bear. You see her eyes close briefly as she casts Fly on the bear.
That's not terrifying at all.
Your bear now has a flying speed of 60 feet. She says, "You have 10 minutes to coerce him to go back up through the cavern."
Yeah.
I'll guide him in flight. Stone Skull, perhaps. You mounting, him, riding him will calm him as I, lead him up to the. The flight can be disorienting.
Yeah, he'll stay on top and try to guide the bear up, who's probably not going to understand what the hell is going on.
Yeah, the bear is very confused as it thinks about it for a moment, looks at its legs, and then kind of hops. And as it does so, it remains in the air instead of falling back down. And the bear, like, sinks back to the ground very quickly and looks around nervously, looking back at you, Stone Skull, like, what the fuck?
Going to try to tilt the bear's head up and just have it look straight up towards the opening. And if we can get, like, I don't know, 10 feet from the ground, I'm gonna tie the rope. I'm gonna grab the rope and tie it to the center of the saddle, and then have somebody up top pull it and kind of guide it in that direction.
Okay. So we'll say Max flies up to the top as the rest of you are all climbing up and everything. And as is before, Stone Skull and the bear go ahead and go last, tying the rope off. And you see the bear, kind of whining as it never felt this feeling of flight before. Very confused by it, but is kind of led floating up. You see its legs kind of dangling, doing the, see those dogs that are hovering above water and doing the dog paddle. That's what the bear's doing the entire time as it's going up this cavern. Until you find yourselves back up top. Oh wait, I don't need to copy them. Aha. Okay, you're gonna land there.
Okay.
It's like I can't scroll to the left while I'm doing that.
How do you center us?
Right there.
Bam. Thank you, sir.
So as you all get back up to the top, coming back out of this hole, the bear's scrambling up over the ledge, kind of looking around, still very nervously and a bit anxious over this. But you find yourselves all looking around this chamber once again. You remember this one kind of had some interesting features about it, namely the shelf of books and such that you see up to the northeast corner. And even as the rest of you are coming up, making sure Stone Skull and the bear arrive safely, you see Maccath walking over, and she begins to collect, kind of picking pieces and such, shoving them into her bag. And she turns around and says, "Does anybody have any extra bags?"
I don't have an extra bag, but I've got some carrying room.
With that, she looks over. Oh, excuse me. She says, "A bag of holding, is it?"
That would be correct.
Excellent. That'll be perfect. Come.
I walk on over.
With that, she goes through and starts pulling out tomes, looking old, and even in the this icy place, they still look like they're covered in dust. She says, "Once again, I have to warn you, nobody read these. I know some of you may be very inquisitive, but I assure you, it is for your own good that I am telling you this."
I assure you, it will not be a problem from me.
Me either.
You do have to kind of give me an idea of what this is, though. Otherwise, I can't really get it out of the bag for you.
With that, she kind of shrugs. "For your purposes, if you need to retrieve them, they are just tomes. They contain magic and spells and rituals and all of that, but they are protected by very dangerous and ancient magic. These," and she kind of motions to the ones she's holding as well as the ones she's starting to put into your bag. "These are the ones that I have been unable to decipher. It takes a great amount of time, unfortunately, to navigate these tomes without causing myself to be disintegrated or, set afire or taken to another dimension. It's a very tedious work, really. That's what I've done to keep myself occupied here the last 3 years."
You have an unfortunate series of kobold helpers that suffered these fates, I'm guessing?
She's definitely
With that, she
evil.
kinda
She's
shrugs.
tiefling.
They're a dime a dozen, unfortunately. Fortunately, so they're easy to use if I do have an experiment, if I'm unsure about a particular page, and they were commanded to listen to me. So, albeit be cruel, only a few of them were killed. Some of them I haven't seen in quite some time, but I'm sure they're fine."
Just imagining where one of them might have ended up.
So with that, she goes through and starts putting all these tomes in there. And she says, "Ah, yes, these are the ones I've deciphered. Is anybody proficient with these spells?" And she holds up 10 scrolls in her arms, kind of bundled up. She says, "If anyone would like to carry these could actually be useful to you. They've been disarmed and are ready to be used to use the spells within them."
God, I wish we had these a moment ago. What are they?
With that, she kind of looks down at him. You see her reaching her arm over kind of awkwardly, and she kind of pulls back the paper of one. She says, "This one will turn you into a gaseous form. This one will cast that lovely spell that Terra cast before haste. This one, protection from energy, water breathing. Some interesting black tentacles come from this one. This one, fire shield, wall of fire, hold monster, chain lightning, and the last one, be very careful with this one. If you use it, it is disintegrate."
I just take them and shove them into the bag of holding. Thank you for your contributions.
With that, she looks at you and says, with a bit of a smirk, she says, I'm sure you're wondering why I didn't give these to you, and honestly, I assumed we died, so I didn't think it was necessary. But, if nothing else, this could be, as you said, a contribution, as thanks for saving me. If we are to be saved, hopefully we're able to escape this iceberg."
She was never heard from again.
Okay, so gaseous form, haze, protection from energy, Avard's black tentacles, chain lightning, fire shield, disintegrate. What are the rest?
I'll just give you a list.
Fantastic.
Wall of fire, hold monster.
Wait, seriously? Hold monster? Was this like
Hold
just a kit
monster.
to go and kill him with?
Seriously.
Hey, there's your wall of fire you've been wanting.
I already know that spell.
Oh, that's right. You got it last time.
Man, look. This just... No, that's not okay.
I'm so excited to go tell the toads.
Okay, I got the list down.
Just keep in mind, just to remind everybody, to use a spell, it has to be on your spellcast list. So whatever class you are, it has to have that spell on it.
What's a spellcast list?
Not something you need to be worried about, Stone Skull. You sweet summer child. If the spell list, if it's on your spell list, but is a higher level than you normally can cast, you have to make an ability check using your spellcasting ability modifier. The DC for that is going to be 10 plus the spell's level.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
So, you find yourself awarded, even by Maccath, by your actions here, as she seems to be saved, and she seems willing to leave. She doesn't want to dally too long, but she seems to be content with following you. Albeit she does kind of look around and say, I am slightly beat up, as it were. Does anyone have any spare potions?
I'll give her a potion of healing.
Okay. All right. She drinks it. Doesn't look much better, but she's like, that's all you have. That's fine.
I'll give her another one.
I'm surprised she couldn't magically produce one from one of those books.
I give her cure wounds.
Okay. $11. All right. Looks a little better. She's starting to look a little closer. Not quite to where she would like to be, but
Yeah, no, she's still. I still give her that other one.
okay.
Nope, she's
another
fine.
7. All right, so she downs these 2 potions as well as receiving the cure wounds. She's kind of shrugs her shoulders a bit. You do see a bit of frost kind of lingering. Her skin kind of discolored a bit, a tint of blue around her neck, but she kind of rubs it and shakes off. That'll be fine. I'll be able to help you fight if necessary. Now that I'm slightly healed.
Of course it'll be
Yeah,
fine.
you sure? And I'm saying this like just covered in soot and ash.
So then she looks over at you and says, that was very interesting what you did there. I've never seen someone blessed by the Phoenix like you are.
I don't want to talk about it.
With that, Maccath kind of shrugs. It's one thing, I suppose, that is very true for most of us sorceresses, is to not talk about our lineage. Yeah, mine is a very fun story, if you'd like to hear it sometime.
I have a fun
Well,
story to tell, too.
Oh, what is that, Stone Skull?
I leave the room.
Follow Ignalia.
It's
walk
the
it out.
story of how I got my sword.
Your sword?
This one was truly special.
So as the rest of you start taking off, scouting ahead, I guess Stone Skull starts telling the story of how he got Lingrados's greatsword.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Different story that you've all heard.
Oh,
of.
shit.
Uh-huh.
You lived it.
Yeah, I was
You
there
did.
for that one.
Right?
So you continue
That's
on.
awesome.
Yeah, making your way back through the caverns. Feel free to start moving where you want to go.
Well, if anyone remembers that villager I had cured, I believe he said there was a entrance or something near that central area, so back near the kobolds.
He had said the room that he was in actually was the other entrance into the icy caves. He was actually sitting below that vaulted kind of ceiling that you had seen, like in the coming from the bone carver's tent. it kind of extended out, kind of like a drop down from the ceiling before it stopped, and then there was a ladder coming down to the ground. Same setup in his room.
Gotcha.
This is all flat, right? Can't tell. Remember if it was the darker or the lighter that was a slide.
It's a lighter. It's up here.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
up
you're
here
down low.
Change.
Yeah, there's a steep climb over to your northwest that extended out, but you're about 20 feet down below where you were before here where you are now. But it is all relatively flat.
Yeah, we need to go that way anyway. We need to go north.
Talk to your frog people.
Oh, yeah.
I am swinging by the ice trolls. I am going to decapitate 2 of them.
Thought we burned them up.
No, you don't burn them up. You just burn them. You know, you have to melt. That would take a very long time. They're big, greasy, gross motherfuckers.
Oh,
They burn well, though.
Fire.
Yeah, so they burn really well. There's actually just charged corpses left at this point. That
I mean,
have not come back to life.
Right?
There's still some flesh hanging off of them here and there.
Basically, I want to grab a show of, like, a trophy to show the Ice Hunter chieftain. And a couple of them. Really, drive the point home. We tell him that he's gone. Like, yeah. Look, we killed a whole bunch of trolls. Trust me. He's not coming back. He got evicted.
At least not for a while. They have time to get out of here.
That's true.
You have in possession 2 troll skulls.
2 trolls. How many? I mean, as many as I can carry. I would just say 2. So
they're
I'll
pretty
say
large.
one looks like a fluke. 2 looks like you know what you're doing. Like, look. I didn't just go down there to get 2 troll skulls and come back up here to impress you, sweetheart. Oh, yeah, here we go.
So as you all start moving up, once again, having to kind of maneuver your way back up this icy hill very carefully, getting some assistance probably from Max, who flew up to the top. Not easy to traverse without any kind of extra implements, except for Tara, who's able to do so with her modified boots. But as you make your way up top here, you see these toads are a bit in disarray as you walk up. You see all of them are hunched over tablets and scrolls and all furiously writing. And as you walk in, you clearly see Marfold up towards the front of the group, kind of sitting down on her haunches, writing very quickly. And she looks up and kind of just glances at you and then looks back down at her parchment and then stops for a second, looks back up and says, Oh, there you are. What is it? What was all that ruckus we just heard?
Oh, that was your dragon running away.
With that, she looks at you and then goes back down to the scroll and begins writing once again, very quickly scrolling across there. You see this, not quite ink quill that she's using. It looks slightly different as it's kind of modified to fit over her webbed hand as she scrolls down kind of awkwardly through it. And she says, "Run away, did he? Oh, well, I will say that I seem to have misjudged you if you were able to not quite slay him, as you said you wanted to do, but making him flee, that's no small feat. So, congratulations are in order, I think. Yes, congratulations."
When, were you able to hear it from up here?
With that, she nods her, very frog-like, or toad-like head. She says, "Oh, yes. When Arauthator must have seen you for the first time, or when you damaged him or something, his very voice shook the entirety of Oyaviggaton. We all felt it here, and actually," and she looks over, you see a few scrolls are still laying on the floor. She says, "Well, it shook some of our scrolls off, unfortunately. Very inconvenient, really."
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are y'all's plans now? Do you plan on staying here?
With that, she tilts her head to the side and stops writing, looking at you. "Oh, of course. Why would we leave? This is our home."
Fair enough. We are going to the top and discharging the ice hunters from the White Death's charge. We're free to leave.
At that, she shrugs and kind of waves off. Yes, for the fun, all that. Where is it you plan on going, if I may ask?
To try and find the Drakhorn.
And with that, as you reply to that, she starts scribbling once again. Find the Drakhorn, okay. She looks around, and you see Maccath kind of walking up, looking over at these creatures, and she speaks out to them. Says, Malferb, are you still just writing? You're not going to do anything else with your pastimes? And they start to have a discussion. It seems that they have spoken quite a few times. Marfold, has gone down to visit Arauthator to hear stories he has to tell that she has scribed down, because he likes talking about his stories, and having them written down makes them legends, as he so put it. As she talks, you see Maccath seems to be hinting at something, and finally Marfold exclaims, Well, Maccath, if you so please it, of course, any of these writings are yours for the taking if your arcane brotherhood would like them. May need some help from your friends to carry them all, though.
I've got plenty of room.
With that, Maccath looks over at you and says, If you don't mind, my order would be greatly interested in the writings from these creatures. They are strange in their ways, but they are meticulously detailed. I've read a few of their works, and you'd be astonished by what they know.
Well, the more information we can gather, the better. Any information, as I'm assuming the White Death is not going to be an ally of ours in the coming fight.
With that, you see the first noticeable actual smile crosses Maccath's face as she nods. Says, "Very well, thank you." And with that, you see her disappearing over with a few of the ice toads for about 5 minutes or so as she starts loading up, scrolls and a few smaller stone tablets, pieces of parchment kind of up there. Some of them burnt and scorched, seeming very old, that she treats a little bit more gingerly, putting them into scroll tubes, rather, not spell scroll tubes. Putting them into there and everything. She has this bulging bag that the toads give her, that she hoists up onto her back, kind of struggling with a bit, but then rests on her feet, getting control of it, and starts moving back towards you. Says, "Okay, very well. I'm ready to go when you are."
Well, it shouldn't take us long to get topside, and perhaps we can get a sled. Kind of gesturing to her big bag.
With that, she kind of shrugs her shoulders a bit, and it comes down very heavily. And she says, I'll be fine. It won't slow me down much."
If you'd like, Mr. Pebbles can hold that for you.
Oh, Cuddy, that would be very darling of him.
Now he's a dashing gentleman, Golem?
He is.
Well done, Mr. Pebbles.
Emphasis on Mr.
Mr. Pebbles, Esquire.
All right,
I'll just take it from her and drape it over Mr. Pebbles' shoulders.
Okay. It's
Pebbles.
pretty heavy. It actually weighs probably at least 150 pounds of just scrolls and parchments and stuff like that. It's a lot. This bag is almost ripping at the seams. But you're able to get it up on the back of Mr. Pebbles, who doesn't really even notice the weight, being the strong, dashing gentleman that he is. And with that, Maccath says, "Okay, well, very well. Lead as you were."
All right. I think we were going to go to the main.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back to the frost skimmer, I guess.
Let's go break the news of the chieftain.
So as you start moving in to this area, once again you see a somewhat similar situation that you saw from the bar, the bone carver's stairwell coming down. You see this hang down from the ceiling that's about 20 feet up in the air, kind of jutting out in the middle of it. You see a ladder coming down to the bottom of it, clearly indicating another staircase going up that you see at the top of this chamber.
No, we gotta get the bear up again. This time let's anchor a couple ropes, one to his front and one to his back end. I'll fly Stone Skull up, and me and him will get on either side and just pull it up.
You know, if we just had enlarge reduce, it would help.
Right.
Right? Would have been so much easier.
Pick him up.
Just strap him to your back.
And now you're small enough that Stone Soul can carry you.
So as you're going through that, Maccath is kind of watching you all and says, I can make him fly again if necessary, maybe a little quicker. But of course, if you want to set up a system here, by all means.
Sure. Maybe it'll make it easier this time. Second time around.
Okay. So with that, she agrees and uses up another spell slot to cast Fly on the bear. Editor spells here.
And he starts flying.
Yeah, and he's a little slightly less anxious, and you saw he kind of shied away from Maccath a bit when she walked up, kind of grinning to touch him again to cast Fly, but she eventually does it, kind of just pushing her hand out and touching him and casting the spell. And with that, she's like, okay, here we go. And she starts climbing up away from the bear before he can snap at her or anything. But yeah, you're able to climb up the ladder, and the bear floats up and gets up onto the stairwell and then immediately refuses to fly any longer while there's ground to walk on. But you find yourself going back up another staircase. As you do so, you start walking up it. You notice this one, as you remember from the first staircase you went down, didn't seem to be super well traveled. And that ended up causing a bit of an unfortunate incident where some of you careened down the stairwell. So you kept that in mind as you climbed up this one, but saw that this one seemed to be much more often traveled. You see little bits of like frozen fish and such laying on the ground here and there. You kind of figure this is probably where the ice hunters traveled to bring food down into this chamber, up and down this one instead of using the one at the bone carver's tent. But as you start making your way up, you feel you've rose about 50 feet or so, knowing you're about halfway up if it's anything like the first one. Everybody give me perception checks.
Based on
hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, you all hear it. So as you're all walking up, kind of, not solemnly, but kind of quietly reflecting as you do so, you all start to hear a noise, kind of a rumbling coming from above you. And as you kind of pause for a moment to listen to it, you hear what sounds like screaming and yelling coming from above you.
Here we go again. Let's start picking my pace up to a trot.
Okay. Everybody just running towards the top as fast as you can?
Yeah.
Safely?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Safely.
All right. So as you start moving up, you find yourself emerging into this large tent. The sounds of screaming and yelling all around you becoming much louder. You hear, obviously, the sounds of presumably the ice hunters all around you. Nobody inside this large tent that you found yourself in that Stone Skull you recognize as the large meeting hall that you scouted out earlier. As you all start moving around, once again, hearing the screaming and yelling outside the tent, what do you want to do?
I want to go, investigate the source of the screaming.
Yeah.
All right. So as you all, once again, hearing these, almost sounding like fervent screams and such all around you, as well as just like heavy footfalls all around you outside this tent, you run out, and as you move outside, your weapons drawn, all ready for battle, you see no carnage, no destruction. Well, there is some destruction as you start to look around. You see the ice hunters all around you, all of them wearing smiles on their faces. You see a few of them notice as you start looking outside, looking towards them and such. They see you. They raise their hands up in exhalation as they run over. A few of them just immediately wrap you in hugs, holding you, picking up some of the, like Tara, picking her up and putting her back down on the ground, slapping you on the back. And you just hear, like I said, language you don't understand as they all start shouting at you and with smiles across their faces.
So they're ecstatic, huh?
from your you can definitely tell they are celebrating.
All right.
The screams and such that you see around you that initially you thought were panicked and fear-filled, you can see now were actually, joyous and celebratory. You see a few of them drinking from large tankards. A few more still smiling and such seem to be busy, as you see what you initially thought was just destruction was actually construction. You see a few of them taking some of these large bones and such and stringing them together, constructing some half-finished, some almost completely done, what appear to be rafts and small boats and such. They
So cool.
wrapping like seal skin and such around them to tie them off. As you're all celebrating and such, you see two figures that you recognize walking up amongst the crowd that's kind of gathered around you. You see the village chief and the bone carver moving towards you. Followed behind by someone else you've met, Orcahart, their champion. As you're all standing there, once again, I would imagine taken a little bit off guard by these people that were extremely hostile towards you and not welcoming at all, literally hugging you and being excited. They look around at you, and once again, the bone carver steps forward and bows her head slowly to the group of you, lowering it in a bit of reverence. And as she raises it, she begins to speak once again in Draconic. And those of you that are able to understand, she says, "We must thank you. You came through with your deal of the bargain. After we heard the old White Death's roar, we feared that we were all going to pay for your actions, but after a few minutes of silence, we saw the dragon itself," and she kind of shakes her head. I never thought that I would see it, but we saw him fleeing, bloodied and bruised off into the distance, leaving us.
Like, cock my head back to this guy. Like, yeah, you did. Like, yeah.
Tara's just gonna kind of pick them
I want
out.
to celebrate with these guys.
No big deal.
With that, she shakes her head and says, I still can't believe it, unfortunately. But yes, what you've done is you've saved us. With him retreating as he was, it will be some time before he returns to see the condition of this place. And she kind of looks around at everybody and kind of motions off to the 20 or so people you see working on boats and rafts. And she says, "We are not squandering this opportunity. We've been held prisoner for so long, all of our actions monitored either by the dragon or his minions, but no longer. We are setting off as soon as we have enough boats for everyone. We are heading further into the sea where he will not be able to likely find us again." And she kind of grimaces a bit. "And honestly, I don't think he'll be looking for us."
Yeah, I think he'll have his gaze focused elsewhere.
So as she says that, she nods. She says, "I fear, unfortunately, with him still alive, that
I want to fight.
your battle isn't quite over with him. He is not unintelligent. He will not challenge you again while he is weak, but I fear once again you have not seen the last of the White Death."
I hope that you're incorrect, but I fear you're right.
But with that, she nods. She says, "But enough of that. We don't have much time. We want to set off from here as soon as possible. But please," and she moves around, and you see a couple of men standing behind her with tankards. "For those of you that want drinks, please partake with us. Let us have a round and celebrate." And she just sighs, just kind of in relief. Says, "And celebrate your victory as well as our freedom."
I'll drink to that. Oh, what are they gonna whale? Oof.
As you look down at it, you're all kind of looking at it, not sure exactly what these people are bringing you. You all get strong whiffs of actual ale coming from these tankards that are brought to you. And seeing the look on your faces, you see all three of these leaders laughing out loud at you. She says, "No, fear not. We're not going to give you some odd concoction of us ice hunters. No. We do find traders every once in a while that venture into this land, and one of them a few months ago actually had some dwarven ale that they departed with for a nominal fee. And what other occasion would it be appropriate for than
Good
this?"
old dwarven ale.
Was the nominal fee their lives?
With that, she kind of shrugs. It was a few bones and such that they prized for some reason. They were just some old whales that had just gotten too close to us that we slayed. Not anything too big. We did lose a couple of men that day, but all in all, worth it.
Okay. I mean, I'll drink to him running.
I'll drink to that.
We do need more info if you have any on this Drakhorn. It used to be here.
With that, she nods. She says, yes, the horn. We don't have much information. I apologize. The people that took it with them were... She kind of shakes her head. They were not the most accommodating. They came here in force and left much the same. They were dressed very peculiarly, and much like Maccath did. She describes figures of the cult, namely wears a purple that went through it here. She says one of them that seemed to be their leader that came here seemed to have this very small dragon flying with him at all times. She kind of describes what some of you would know as a familiar.
Oh, okay.
Familiars. I never touched the stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. But, yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll. We want to rest here. Do we want to part ways, head back to Frost Skimmer, and plan our next steps?
I mean, I'm always up for a good ale.
It'd be a shame for it to go to waste.
Yeah, let's drink.
Let's get drunk then.
All right, so yeah, as you're celebrating with them and such, you see that more of them seem to leave the revelry, having there, but then they seem to kind of break off back into business within a 20 or 30 minutes or so of celebrating with you. Like I said, everybody looks just absolutely ecstatic. Night and day difference compared to what you saw before.
Now they're in run for their life mode.
Pretty much. That's what you're definitely getting. They are not wasting their time celebrating, doing it, obviously because they're excited, and you see most of them would much rather keep doing it, but the threat of staying here at Oyaviggaton is, too much to risk it. So you only get to celebrate briefly. Then one of the ice hunters comes up and talks, that seems to enter from outside the village, talks to the chief, and once again in his very broken language he tells you that your boat has been sighted coming back towards the iceberg from where it departed earlier.
Well, right. Yeah, we do need to get... I mean, at some point we got to get on there. Do we have any idea where we're going?
I think at this point we're just headed back to Waterdeep. We came here looking for for the Drakhorn, but it was sold, is what we were told, I believe.
Yeah, well, strong-armed.
Yeah.
He did a deal. The mask didn't dominate him.
Right.
So
we're now trying to track that down. So yeah. All right. So as you make your way, leaving the revelry, everybody, waving their goodbyes to you, and more people running up to hug you and slap you on the back and such. Everybody just super excited all around you.
Hey, I'm also gonna ditch these troll heads, just somewhere. I'm gonna toss them by somebody's tent.
Okay.
If we don't need them, I'm not packing them around.
All right. You see a couple of men walk by as you're walking away, kind of scratching their heads, looking at them, and they pick them up and shove them in the bags real quick. Just trying to catch them, or gather them up as trophies or something like that.
Tear it up, buddy.
So you start making your way back down this very long staircase, able to look over the side of it now, seeing Frost Skimmer beginning to move up to the shore. You see it being tied off by a couple of men that just barely dots in your vision from how high up you are. But you go ahead and make your way down, heading back down towards the ship. as you do so, you find yourself back at the Frost Skimmer with with Captain Larista Half-Face waiting for you as you move down. He's wearing a very gruff look upon his face, and you see a few of the men are moving about a bit skittishly. They're moving around, but they keep looking up towards the sky, kind of glancing back and forth before going back to their work. And as you start moving onto the ship, the men already preparing to set sail. Larista kind of looks at you, tilting his head, his arms crossed, and says, "Well, it seems you did it, did you? You scared off that dragon."
Yeah, did you doubt us?
With that, you see Larista doing kind of his trademark, lifting the patch over the side of his face a bit, revealing kind of burnt and charred looking skin, scratching it a bit, and he kind of shrugs. "Well, I will admit that I had my doubts, but I had faith that you would survive at the very least."
I mean, you did say that
No,
very
they
important
doubted
people
us.
sent us.
Doubted us.
And with that, he nods. He says, "Aye. They wouldn't send any fools, I suppose, so I apologize for having my doubts, I guess."
Tara's gonna kind of turn towards where she thinks Stone Skull is standing. Yeah, they wouldn't send any fools.
It's true.
Aye. All right, very well. Back to Waterdeep then, or do you have another destination?
Waterdeep. We've got more information, and now we've got to figure out what to do with it.
With that, you see a look of a slight relief crossing what little you can see of Larista's face, and he grins a bit. He says, "Aye, very well. Straight to Waterdeep then. Post haste. Rest as you will." And he kind of points behind him. You do see a makeshift tent has been kind of raised up in the middle, which you had been used to on the nights as it started to grow colder, that he had set up for you, the party itself. He says, "Rest as you will. We'll get underway very shortly."
Yeah, Tara's gonna go into that tent and just pass out.
Right. I was kind of thinking the same thing, like slowly getting out of the armor, just like and slouching up on the floor, like, "Oh, it hurts."
Stone Skull's gonna just drink.
Mommy.
So I imagine most of the party passes out as the ship sets sail. At one point, it's just in the middle of the night for the most part. They had obviously kept a watch overnight, but you see at one point a couple men bringing in hot soup, and they only see like Stone Skull still awake drinking, and they kind of hush themselves as they were about to offer food and just kind of set it down at the door. And if you want, here you go. And with that, they exit back out of the tent.
Imagine even the bears just zonked.
Zonked the hell out.
In the corner, just passed out. Sleeping all the stress off.
Just a pile of adventurers in the middle of this tent. So as you all find yourselves, weary after.
I bet we're all snuggled up to the bear for warmth.
That is an excellent picture that I have.
Right. Even Mr. Pebbles.
Tara's laying on top of the bear, drooling.
Yeah. All starfish now.
We need an artist real bad right now.
Yes.
So yeah, as you're all zonked out, resting, reminiscing back and reflecting on everything you just went through between the ice hunters and their foreboding welcoming to you, to venturing down into befriending the bone carver, making your way down into the iceberg itself, and adventuring through Oyaviggaton, and you feel the culmination of all these events piling onto you, and know that the experiences that you've had have not left you wanting, as you all feel yourselves have grown more powerful after this, and you all hit level 10.
Yeah,
double digits.
Double digits, boys.
Boys.
All right.
Yes.
So, due to the timing, I planned on stopping around 9:30 tonight. With y'all's level up and everything, I want you to go ahead and take care of that as you can
10:30
between now and next session. But that is where we're going to end the session tonight. A little early.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
All right.
Can you tell me what's gonna happen?
I'm going to.
Or is that part of the story?
Well, let's go ahead and do the part of the story next session.
Okay. All right.
Next session's gonna.
All right. So that's going to be the end of our session for tonight. With that, let's see who is still hanging around that we can go and say hi to. Some wonderful people, I hope. Let's see. Who's available? Yeah, we are going to go... Let's go over to Dumpstat. They look like they're doing some fun things. We're going to go to Dumpstat. If you are not familiar with them, you should definitely check them out and give them a follow whenever you're over there. Thank you for being here tonight. Very much appreciate it, as always. Don't forget, we are going to be back right here tomorrow with Amongst the Giants, which is our Storm King's Thunder playthrough. And then back here for more D&D on Friday, which is our big session, which everybody is super excited about, which is Stealing Dragons, our Waterdeep campaign. Hope you'll tune in for it. Until then, have a good night, guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow.